Hello, Andy.
What's up?
From Crown Empire. How's it going?
Doing great, chilling, killing, same old.
Cool. And you're on tour with Mice and Men at the moment.
Yep. So far, so good. Day 2. We've been drunk both of the days, but it's been a good time so far. Yeah.
And so you've played 2 shows so far, haven't you?
Yep.
How do they both go?
They were great. First one was Birmingham, and it was huge. It was way bigger than we were expecting. Big stages are awesome because you got room for activities. And then Manchester was great too. We had it was one of the first cities we'd ever been to, and it was like it's always good vibe. I have memories of like going out and doing a lot of fun stuff there. So good stuff. Yeah.
So let's talk about the tour a little bit and what you kind of plan to do. So obviously, have you toured with Mice and Men before? Just quickly.
Yeah. We have like smaller runs before.
Okay, so what's it like kind of being back with them? Because obviously I shouldn't imagine you see each other too much when you're making music and stuff. So what's it like to be back with them? And I'm guessing they're good friends and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. They're one of the few bands that who have a big name that have always consistently been like chill guys. There's no ego trip. There's no like stay out of my fucking way or anything like that. They're always welcoming. They're always cool, and they've given us like honestly a lot of advice that I haven't been able to get from a lot of bands. A lot of stuff that people are uncomfortable to talk about, but just because it comes purely from like artist to artist, and they've told us like you remind us of us like 2 years ago.
Oh wow!
So like to kind of help you figure it out, and if you ever have any questions like about where we were at, then just ask away. So that's always really cool. And then obviously we smoke a lot of weed together, so that's always fun. But yeah, I love them to death.
And are they like influences when you make new music? And so do you kind of do you have a call on them when you're making records, or what's the writing process like when you're writing records? Or just in general.
I mean, we were initially. It's a funny thing to talk about, but initially, Mice and Men came out like I want to say like 2010, maybe 2010, 2011, and we were in high school at the time, like just now starting Crown Empire. So, being able to go to shows as a fan and watch a Mice and Men, which I've been to a Mice and Men show. One of the first shows I went to actually.
Oh wow.
And at a later time, just making music that you were a fan of, and then at a later time being peers with them is a cool thing to have. But as far as we never really reach out to them when we're doing our own thing. It's normally we'll let each other like listen to stuff. Like we saw them in Dallas when they were with Slipknot and Marilyn Manson, and went on their bus and like, you want to hear the new album? Like just a couple weeks before it came out. Yeah. So like got to jam and kind of like pick each other's brains about what they were doing. But as far as the writing process goes, it's just us in a room. It was me and our producer Drew Folk on this one, and KJ, who was like a fucking guitar maestro Yoda kind of guy.
Yeah.
So we'll go in and crank out a bunch of ideas, and they did a lot of great work on the new album. So yeah, that's really good.
And you've released new material sort of recently, haven't you? So how well received do you think that's been, and what's your kind of reaction to that?
I think it's gone over pretty well, considering what we were anticipating. We were like a straight up metalcore band. I don't know if you're familiar with our music, but it was like straight like risecore metalcore. Like you can guess the formula at this point. But when we were going into this new album, we didn't want to be lumped into a group of things, and it was important for us to kind of make our own identity as a band. To kind of you have iconic parts that bands have. You're like, this is clearly like a riff that a Mice and Men would use, or you Bring Me the Horizon vocal part. Like the melody is they have a certain way of doing things. And when we we're writing into this record, we realized we didn't really have a lot of those parts, and so we wanted Crown the Empire riffs to sound the same. So we kind of had to chop away at where we wanted to go, as well as trying to keep what was dope about us before, why people thought we were cool before. So without being cliche or cheesy, and not selling out and being like we're pop stars. 5 Seconds of Summer shit or something.
Yeah, of course.
So it was challenging as fuck, but can I say fuck?
It's fine.
I said it. It's already come out. So
you're a rock
star. But it's it was kind of a daunting process at first, but I think well received. Our newest music video has like the most views that any of them have ever had in a period of time. So it's different, but I think it'll attract a lot of new people, and then the fans that have stuck around, we love to death. So.
You mentioned high school earlier.
Yeah.
Did you study anything to do with music at high school or college, or was this something you always wanted to do?
No, I mean everybody, like, what kid doesn't want to like be a singer? Yeah. Like it's like the easiest thing ever. I didn't really. I was like a acoustic guitar kid. I was like a Wonderwall kid, Yeah. And I'd heard about the guys auditioning for a band, and I never I think I was in like one band, like a garage band with a couple of my friends. But no, I was in choir for my freshman and sophomore year, and then I had to do the rest of school like online. So I had like 2 years of like sight reading, like proper like musical training, and then that was it.
Yeah.
On the road after that. That's 17, I think. So as far as musical training, we're all just like, oh, this is sick. Like, it's funny hearing people describe music because the songs get done, but it's like it goes na 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 na, instead of like G F sharp, put the it's just a funny thing to do, but yeah.
So what do you think you'd be doing if it wasn't for music then? Is there anything else you've ever had a passion in? Did you go to sort of university or anything?
I didn't really do anything. That's the thing. I had a lot of energy and I had a lot of ideas, but I had nothing to really apply them to. Choir was like a thing I did just because it was going to be a blow-up class, and they're like, you should like do this. You should do this for real. Like, you're actually pretty good. So, I mean, aside from that, I did like, I don't know, what is a 15 to 16-year-old? I chased chicks. Like I started smoking drugs, and then maybe I played video games, and it's fun to like pursue stuff like that on the side. Call of Duty had me do like community game night with them. It's still fun to kind of talk to developers and people. It's easy. I mean, it's like a fun thing to do still. So to connect with fans in that way is really fun. But other than that, dude, I'd probably be like fucking, I don't know. I was on not an Ivy League path. My mom wanted the Ivy League path for me, but I'd probably be college maybe. I have no idea. I couldn't tell you.
So this is kind of like your creative outlet, as cliche as it sounds. So if you wasn't doing this, you would have like gaming or whatever. That would have been your like creative outlet.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's hard to go back and say because it was so much like a big part of my life when I was a teenager because that's all I did. Like I didn't really have friends. I didn't really do things. So yeah, it's hard to say that. But I never really got into like video editing. But when we first put out our EP and our first songs on the internet, our biggest following was from the video game community. We had like people doing Call of Duty montages, and they would get like millions and millions of views, like a shit ton of views. And so we had fans in Indonesia, we had fans all over the world, way before we ever thought about playing a show, like before we dressed up, before we did anything. So it was, to have, a hand-in-hand kind of culture, like push something completely different was cool. So I don't know if I would have gone into it, and I don't know, I'm still curious about it now, like trying to do more and more, but I guess you could say, maybe it would have been my thing.
And have you got any sort of new stuff coming? So just kind of let fans know what to expect in the coming maybe year. Have you got anything like that coming, or are you going on a tour? What's the plan? Touring.
The album's been out for like 2 months now, so we're balls deep and just putting it out as much content as we can.
Yeah. We
got a lot of stuff in the works, just like ideas you talk about whenever we get downtime, but our schedule is so crazy. Like Europe, we just got back from Japan like a week ago, Hawaii, and then after this we have a full US headliner, so those discussions kind of just have to be had like organically and stuff, but we have a couple ideas for like, I don't know, maybe like short films or just stuff like that. We've always been really into just creating stuff just for the sake of creating stuff, so who knows? We got a bunch of stuff churning.
You're always in the process of just sort of
always at least
ideas.
Talking about it. That's the thing. That's the best thing to do is just, hey, is this a stupid thing? And like, yeah. And like, okay. Like, you have another idea, So, yeah. And something cool will happen, I'm sure.
And let's not just speak about musical influences. Is there anything that you kind of maybe see on TV, like, or literacy, literature kind of things that you kind of see and think, wow, I don't know if you've heard of like the band Hawkwind, but they incorporate all sorts of stuff into their machine of creativity. So what kind of stuff are you into that maybe influences your music in that respect?
We watch a lot of documentaries, like a shit ton of documentaries. It's like super nerdy about like, like Transcendent Man was a cool one that just talks about how the technology is going to get to a point where we recreate the human brain. The second we can do that, it's going to double itself and improve itself exponentially to the point that people can't like keep up with it. And so at what point of biology and technology where you become a part of your phone, where it doesn't even have to be an item that's built into your hand, or you buy a glove and it, I don't know, it's a cool thing. So stuff like that, obviously real world politics in the US is fucking insane right now. I'm not gonna get into it because obviously everybody knows it's like everybody's got a fucking opinion, like but there's definitely like some real shit that hasn't really been brought to light because of I think the age that we're in. People are more interested in it because it's so accessible over the internet. Like the second something happens, it's a hashtag, it's a fucking whatever it is, but I think it's something that is kind of a bittersweet thing. Like, more people are aware of it, but I think it's kind of sad that a lot of people won't actually do anything to do it. So just stuff like that, we've had ideas. You can listen to the songs, and a lot of it is just cool from, what's fucked up? Like, just those kinds of conversations that start like that and end up, that. So, tons of stuff like that.
Well, I've noticed that in your music, sort of referring to your fans as like rebels and stuff like that. Yeah. Is that what you're kind of talking about?
Well, that was our concept album before, and we had to come up with a name for the protagonists in the story were our fans and were us, and we were trying to create kind of narrative, but they basically stemmed from the same idea. A lot of the resistance was about how fucked up. We took ideas from like the French Revolution and like the like the top 1%ers and stuff like that. It was the first time we'd actually been turned to it, but we had no real opinions about anything. We were just like, hey, fuck the system, and so that's basically where it came from. But I think we were a little bit older, a little bit more wise on like how we approach those kinds of situations and look at it. So just kind of naturally change the sound along with everything about us. So,
Well, look, thank you very much. I hope you have a great show and rest of the tour. You obviously got a lot more to come.
Yep, it'll be ripping. Thanks for having me.
Have a great night.
Thanks a lot, man.